So in January 2017, Suzy Lamb, Daystar TV co-host and daughter-in-law of Daystar founders Marcus and Joni Lamb, claims she was assaulted at Daystar by an unlicensed chiropractor her in-laws had hired. You know, let's just pull it up and take a brief look at this, because this is crazy, and this,
showing the pattern.
This is crazy. So,
Coverup.
So exclusive, and this just came out today. This information just dropped today that Suzy Lamb says she was pressured to hide her own assault. And then there's a picture there, of course, Joni and Suzy there. Let's bring this up. This is, wow, I had not heard about this, and this is even worse now. So in January 2017, Suzy Lamb, then Daystar TV co-host and daughter-in-law of Daystar founders Marcus and Joni Lamb, claims she was assaulted at Daystar by an unlicensed chiropractor her in-laws had hired. But when her husband, then Director of Operations Jonathan Lamb, told his parents about it, they buried the assault. Both Jonathan and Suzy told the Royce Report in an exclusive interview. According to the couple, Marcus and Joni maintained a culture of secrecy and protection at the large Christian broadcasting network with more than 100 stations worldwide and an annual revenue of over $100 million. The couple say they submitted to this culture for more than a decade. But as the Royce Report reported yesterday, Jonathan and Suzy have gone public with their experience at Daystar, specifically Marcus and Joni's alleged cover-up of their daughter's essay by a male family member. Suzy did not talk about her own essay in our first interview, but over the weekend she told the Royce Report she wanted to stand with her daughter as a victim and talk about her assault too, which remains traumatizing. My goodness. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is...
Oh my gosh.
This is bad, okay?
Wow.
The culture at Daystar is very, very bad.
Wow.
Suzy experienced that, shared that with her husband, shared that with Joni, and they covered it up. So they proved to them that they have the culture of wanting to cover up things, right? Fine. Then the same situation happened with their daughter. These people ended up covering it up. So they had a data to see how these people operate. Why did they give them another 4 years of sitting on the story where they had a history? And these people were willing to cover up for an outsider chiropractor. So if they're willing to cover up for an outsider, they are willing to cover up to go over their own grandchild. I mean, it looks like these people know. As long as anything that threatens their money, they're not going to have it. They're definitely like the mafia. You know how the mafia is. You cross them, they're done with you. So what a shame.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just dumbfounded that this is a new layer to this story that is, wow. So, yeah, I mean, as you said, there's clearly a culture there. Mm-hmm. There is a way that they do things, and this just seems to be the way Marcus and Joni built this establishment. I'm not even going to call it a ministry anymore. You know, this organization was built on lies, built on, because, okay, so think about this, though. Think about this, is that this right here is coming out where this is Suzy Lamb, okay? Suzy Lamb, one of the children, talking about this, okay? And she herself withheld these things happening to her. Think about the people who are just employees there, okay? Think about the folks who are just employees there and how much stuff gets covered up. Because if they're willing to cover this up, I'm telling you, man, like, this is not just, we saw this with the Robert Morris situation, where once the story broke, where it was like, okay, there's one incident that happened from Gateway Church, right? We just thought, okay, there's one thing that's wrong. Then it became this one thing after another that was going wrong in Gateway. You see? So it's like once these stories break, you find out there are more victims, more people who have been mistreated, more people who had to bury things under a rug, people who were probably themselves. So here's the thing. There are probably people who signed NDAs and took some money and settled some cases that we will never hear about. And I strongly believe that that is likely to be the case, because that's what we see when these things go wrong, is that there is there's a bunch of bodies left behind in the wake of what has happened. This is in March 2023, so last year. So according to Jonathan and Suzy, the chiropractor had lost his license. What? Because of an alleged assault on a minor. Man, I can't even, hold up. So they brought a person who was already compromised into Daystar, somebody who had lost his license for doing some trash before. They bring this guy in, and he does something he's not supposed to do to Suzy, and then they try to sweep that under the rug. Okay, let me just read the rest of this, and I'll come back on the main screen. So, but Marcus and Joni believed the chiropractor had come to Christ and was a changed man. So they invited him to Daystar to work on the family in the family green room, Jonathan and Suzy said. The green room is a lounge for on-air performers where they go when they're not in studio. So this must be a picture of this guy right here. The chiropractor allegedly assaulted Suzy Lamb poses with his daughter at the Daystar TV Christmas party. My goodness. My goodness. And you see how these people have no fear of invoking the name of God in what they do when they cover up stuff. Yeah. Like actually saying that this guy, no, he's a changed man. He's come to Christ. This is a guy who's come to Christ. Listen, even if somebody, let's say he really did come to Christ. Even if somebody has come to Christ, if they have had a past of doing certain things, then there's a way that you do not bring them into spaces that could either tempt that person or make somebody else feel uncomfortable when the information comes out, even if nothing happens. Yeah. But if the information comes out that, hey, wait a minute, so that chiropractor, this guy was, he did some stuff in the past, and y'all brought him here, even if nothing happened. Like, you have to avoid these kind of situations. Yeah,
and not only that, this chiropractor had the audacity to do this to the daughter-in-law. Remember, Suzy, like, this is the... right. You know what I mean? Like, they own this Daystar, right? It's owned by her husband, her father-in-law, and her mother-in-law. Mm-hmm. So this chiropractor, it's not like didn't know who Suzy was. Mm-hmm. So then he is having this audacity to be doing at Daystar. Not even outside, like literally at the network itself. Yeah. Like, what are we talking about here? And why are they attracting these people who think they can just come in at Daystar and behave like this? Like, oh my gosh.
This place is like a magnet for just heinous things to be happening and be covered up. Wow. No, man. All right, so let me just read a little bit more of this and we'll move along. So for a couple years, everything went fine, Suzy said, and the man worked on her in the green room without incident. So he seemed to be okay, but like I said, right? Shouldn't have brought him there in the first place. Mm-hmm. But then he started becoming more belligerent. And one day, she said, he seemed drunk as he was working on her. Joni's assistant was normally in the room with the chiropractor when he was seeing patients, but Suzy said that for about 5 minutes, the assistant left because she had to use the bathroom. During the time she was gone, Suzy said the man violently assaulted. The assault was not R, but left her reeling in pain. My goodness. As soon as the chiropractor left the building, Suzy called Jonathan and told him what had happened. Jonathan said his blood was boiling and he immediately called Marcus and Joni, who were out of town, to report what happened. Jonathan said Marcus told Jonathan he'd handle it and instructed Jonathan not to talk about it. Instructed him not to talk about it. Man, listen, this thing is, this story has just got layers and layers and layers. Like, if you had to do like a docuseries on this, it would be hours and hours, because we're only scratching the surface on this thing. There is, if whoever sits down, like whatever information that Julie Royce has on this, because she's bringing this out. I mean, I guess she just said she only heard this over the weekend. So imagine the stories that haven't been told. Like I said, stories of other people, stories of things, other cover-ups that have occurred that are yet to be revealed. I mean, there's just going to be more and more stuff coming out of this situation. I just don't think this is it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And if then you have been raised with Christ, seek the things that are above, where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on earth. All right? God bless y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.